Hi, and welcome to this short introductory video of the Intuto Learning Management System. We are currently looking at the content page. This is the first page that anyone will come to when they log into the site. You can see it's currently branded with our Intuto logo and orange color scheme throughout the buttons and text. However, this will be changed to suit your organization's branding whenever your site is set up. We're currently viewing the content page from an admin perspective, so you can see our reporting, sharing, and editing buttons, but from the user's perspective, it's very similar, except they only have that view button, so all they can do is jump into their next piece of learning. Now, onto the courses. If you are building courses using the inbuilt authoring tool in Intuto, it'll look a little something like this, with the page list on the left-hand side and the material in the center of the screen. Learners will be able to scroll through all of the material, click Next to go to the next page, and move through the material where you might include learning activities such as this drag and drop, or other content such as videos, audio, or this pop-up here. If you want to test the knowledge of your learners, you can include a quiz in your course. These quizzes are multiple choice with either one or multiple correct answers, and can also have pass marks and attempt limits. You can see here that I haven't quite passed, and so the prompt is for me to try it again. You also have the option to display as much or as little about the answers that they've given in the section below as well. If a user hasn't completed a quiz, they'll see a pop-up letting them know to make sure they don't miss any sections. On the last page, you may have a feedback form to gather information about your learners. Once everything in the course has been completed and passed, the course will move to complete, and the learners will be able to go back to the content page to access the next piece of learning. If you are using a SCORM authoring tool to develop your courses, they can be uploaded directly into the platform and appear on the content page as well. You can see this icon here to indicate a SCORM course. The SCORM authoring tool you've used will determine what your SCORM course will look like. Here's an example of a SCORM course built in Articulate Rise, which is a SCORM authoring tool that our in-house team often uses. In this course, you can see the page list on the left with the material on the right, and as the learner scrolls through, they might see some clickable interactions, quizzes, and other elements. Once you've got courses loaded and you have learners starting to go through them, you'll be able to see the reporting data starting to populate. We've got quite a few different types of reports. The most commonly used is a course report. In the top left, we see a pie graph that reflects the data appearing in the summary section on the right. Here you can see 44 total participants, 37 are registered, 6 in progress, and 1 is archived. But you'll see these numbers change as people go from registered to in progress to completed. We also have some expiring options for courses that might need to be renewed every year, as well as expired if it is just an access expiry date. Scrolling down, you'll see some averages of the users in the course currently, as well as all of the individual user data for this course. You can see the status of the user in the course, when it was updated, how long they've spent online, pages viewed, pages completed, and any expiry dates that might exist. You'll also see that we have an ID field and groups. There are also a couple of other fields we can use to hold data about your learners, such as organization, country, mobile. Another commonly used report is our individual user report, which looks like this. You have the details of the user up the top and then all of the courses that they are enrolled in a list. If you were to click on one, you'll see all of their data for that course, when they viewed each page, if they've attempted any of the quizzes, etc. All of these reports can be exported easily into an Excel spreadsheet, so then you can do any further reporting you need, or store the data, or send it on to other team members if required. Other reports. We have a multi-course report where you can see progress through multiple different courses. A comments report for if you have the option to leave comments turned on for your courses. Expiring enrollment shows you all of the upcoming expiry dates for courses and learners. Then our collection report shows progress through that group of courses. That is called the collection. Multi-collection report shows you the progress through multiple different collections. Then we've got our campaign report, which is used by organizations delivering our English language testing. Report on a user is that individual user report we saw earlier. And then webhook report is for if you are using webhooks to send our data to any other system. You can see a report of all of those data pushes and resend them if needed. Other pages on the site are our users page, where you can see all of your learners. You also have the option here to export all the learners on this list. Bulk upload learners into this list, or add learners individually. There's also a bulk actions button for if you have selected learners. You can do actions to them as a group, so you can add users to courses and collections, remove users from courses and collections, send emails, reset passwords, make users inactive, or delete them entirely from the system. Another page we have is tokens. This is the option to create a share link or URL, which gives your learners access to a specific course, collection, or group. This option means that you can also set usage limits and expiry dates on those links, allowing you to really easily control how many people use the links and where those learners might be coming from. Tokens are commonly used for people selling courses. You might have an organization purchasing a course for 20 of their staff, but don't yet know which of those staff it might be. Instead of waiting for them to gather the learner's data, you can just send them a link, which has got 20 users on it. They can send it out to their learners, and then you'll just see the names coming through as people follow that link. Then we have our site settings. Starting with our site and theme, this is where the logo and color scheme of the site can be adjusted to fit your branding. Then we have the details of your subscription, permissions of who might have access to the site, profile fields such as the organization, ID number, and groups that we mentioned earlier. You can create groups, you can create collections and campaigns, and then we've also got the option for your support contact, which appears in the emails coming out of the system. The other sections shown here are to do with the different types of integrations you might have, such as whether you are connecting to a shopping cart, to a member management system, to a CRM or HR system. We'll use these in a few different ways to set up those connections for you. Then we have our email templates, so all of the emails that come from our site can be edited using HTML. We also have our knowledge base, which is available through the support button on the site, or by going to support.intuto.com, where you'll find step-by-step help articles, including images with bright pink arrows showing you exactly where to click. So, that's a quick overview of the Intuto Learning Management System. Happy learning!